Officer Ruby and the Case of the Missing Ruby Necklace. In the bustling city of Tinseltail, where owls wore monocles and mice commuted on unicycles, something very dramatic happened one glittery Tuesday morning. It was the case of the missing ruby necklace. And not just any ruby necklace, it was the ruby necklace, the one that belonged to Madame Llama Lulabelle, the oldest, richest, and fluffiest llama in all of Tinseltail. Madame Lulabelle lived in a spiraling mansion at the corner of Fuzzleberry Lane. Her garden was trimmed into the shape of musical notes, and her fountains only sprayed sparkling lemonade, for the birds of course. That morning, as the sun poked its head over the hills, a shrill wail rang out across the city.
My ruby is gone. Call the guard. Sound the alarm. Fluff the alpacas.
The city stirred. Pigeons dropped their bagels, squirrels fell out of hammocks. Even the mayor, a pot-bellied raccoon named Richard, spilled his morning jelly. Officer Ruby, the clever little rabbit in a shiny blue cap, was already on her scooter, zooming toward the mansion. Ruby arrived to find a crowd gathered outside Madame Lulabelle's home. Step aside, she called, ears flopping as she braked with a squeal. Tinseltail Police Department. Mystery Division. Madame Lulabelle was on the porch, dramatically draped over a velvet fainting couch. It's gone, Officer Ruby, she cried, fanning herself with a slice of toast. My family heirloom, a ruby the size of a plum. Gone. Vanished. Poof. Like a banana in a monkey cafe. All right, Ruby said, pulling out her tiny notepad. Let's start from the beginning. When did you last see the necklace? Last night. I wore it to my Sleepy Sonata concert for the cacti. Then I placed it on my dressing table, right next to my emergency marshmallows. Ruby nodded, scribbling notes. Who else was here? She asked. Just me, my butler Otis the ostrich, and my cousin Poppy. She's a goat who believes she can communicate with waffles. Ruby blinked. Interesting crowd. Inside the mansion, everything smelled like lavender and pickled onions. Madame Lulabelle claimed it was vintage chic. Ruby tiptoed through the bedroom. The dressing table was as Lulabelle described. Makeup jars, a photo of a young llama winning a dance contest, and a plate of emergency marshmallows, one missing. But no Ruby. She examined the floor. No scratch marks. No broken windows. No sign of forced entry. Just a trail of cookie crumbs leading to a sock drawer full of jelly beans. Curious, Ruby muttered, munching a jelly bean for science. Then came a squawk. Otis the ostrich peeked his long neck through the door. Madame is demanding more toast fans. Shall I prepare the toast cannon? Not yet, Ruby said. Tell me, Otis, did you see anything strange last night? Otis blinked. Aside from Cousin Poppy trying to interview a stack of pancakes? No. Just then, Poppy burst into the room with a goat-sized detective hat. I have a theory, she declared, holding up a teacup. The ruby has transformed into a liquid and is currently hiding in this chamomile. No, thank you, Ruby said politely, but I'll keep it in mind. To gather more information, Ruby returned to town. She interviewed the street musicians. We saw a squirrel juggling, the unicycle mice, we heard a sneeze that sounded suspicious, and the raccoon mayor, I blame gravity. Each theory was wilder than the last. One cat claimed the ruby had run away to join the circus. A mole suggested it was abducted by aliens disguised as garden gnomes. A goose said it was stolen by a notorious underground group called the Fuzzy Bandits. Ruby scribbled in her notebook, growing more puzzled with every scribble. That night, Ruby returned to the mansion for one last look. Madame Lulabelle had fallen asleep on the couch, wearing a tiara made of cucumber slices. Ruby tiptoed back into the bedroom. She crouched low, looked under the dressing table again. Still nothing. But then, she spotted it. A glimmer. A sparkle. A very faint shimmer coming from under the bed. Ruby dropped to her belly and wiggled in. There it was. The ruby necklace. Sitting quietly next to an old slipper and a postcard from Llama Yoga Camp. Stretch your neck, stretch your soul. Ruby picked it up gently. She stared at it. How did you get under here, you sneaky gem? She tiptoed back out to the living room and cleared her throat. Madame Lulabelle? Lulabelle stirred him. Is that you, Marshmallow Fairy? Nope. It's me, Officer Ruby. I found your necklace. Lulabelle sat up so fast she knocked off her cucumber tiara. You what? Ruby held it up. Under your bed. There was silence. Then Lulabelle blinked once. Twice. Oh, fluffernuts, she said. I remember now. I tucked it under the bed for safekeeping. Because I had a dream that raccoons were breakdancing on my vanity, Ruby giggled. The crowd outside cheered. Otis fired the toast cannon in celebration, accidentally launching 2 waffles into the mayor's hat. The next day, the city declared it a holiday. Forgetful but fabulous day. In honor of Madame Lulabelle. Ruby was given a giant thank you donut by the unicycle mice. Poppy the goat announced she was writing a book titled I Was Right All Along, sorta. And Madame Lulabelle? She had the ruby necklace polished, then wore it proudly while sipping lemonade with her cactus audience. As for Officer Ruby, she zoomed through the city on her scooter, ears flopping in the wind, already dreaming of her next case. Maybe a lost trumpet, or a mysterious cheese van, or a tree that sings jazz at midnight. Whatever it was, Ruby would be ready. The city of Tinseltail could always count on its smallest, bravest bunny.